Okay, series of videos for the Maserati quattroporte. Hello and welcome to the UK, and this is normally the state of my car as it's used every day, and Great British weather kills it. There's not a lot of videos on these cars apart from people showing how good the exhaust is and the sound, but they do have some common faults. I'm going to go through some of the faults, make a couple of videos just for people who's got one and wishing to do the work themselves. I'm no mechanic, YouTube trained, but I will have a go at most things, and if not, it's down to the garage. A couple of common faults on these cars is the mirror. You can see there, it's been touched up a few times at the bottom. Seems to be a common water rust point, so I'm gonna have to sort that out. Also on the wipers, you get some rust there and some corrosion. It could mean a new wiper arm, but we'll certainly have a go at that and see if we can get it up to scratch. Another thing on the quattroporte is the badges, which is going to be another job. That'll be fun. Normally it's a front bumper off job for that. We'll see how we go. A couple of ideas, may drill it out. Don't like the thought of a drill, but we'll see which way that one goes. We'll have a look at it. Some of the guys on the forum have given me some good ideas on that, so we'll have a look. It's the same on this wing mirror. You have a look here. Seems to be a common point, both wing mirrors suffering from the same part. And the rest of the car is quite good. Doesn't seem to have major rust points or flaws. The exhaust system's good. The bodywork and the paint on the Maseratis are fairly good. Inside, fitted the loud link, which is good. That was a fun job, only because the wire it connects to was halfway up the dashboard. So, but that works absolutely brilliant. You guys was thinking a loud link, it really does work. The other point on the Maserati is it has little nicks in the leather. Going to look at sorting that out. Don't know how yet. A couple of ideas, and one there and one there. Looking at a leather paste to do that. So as I do the work and it progresses, I'll show you the ideas that worked and the ones that didn't, and we'll see where we end up. Today's job is going to be paddles. Not looking forward to this, a bit scared about it, but I'm going to give it a go. Had some good advice from the guys at the forum, so I'll make a little instructional video of how I went wrong and what not to do, and we'll see where it goes. So hope this helps. We'll see where we end up. Like I say, not a professional videographer, I'm no model, so I'm not going to be in a lot of the videos, but it'll be good to see the car transform, and also hopefully help some of you guys that are going to do work on your own cars and just keep them in good condition. Okay, job one is a 4mm Allen key, and one screw there and one screw there. Okay, the final bolt on the bottom is that one there, and it's a 5/16. It's an actual bolt that comes off, which is that one. And then the lower column should be ready to come out. Okay, for separating the column, trim removal tool, and I placed it just there. Just pried it. Same on the other side. Just pried it open. And now, let's see if I can remove this. I'll let you know how it goes. Okay, so it's working so far. That's the bottom of the column. as it's attached, if you grab it from the rear, just give it a pull down, it comes away. Not too difficult. There's a little clip there, you've got to take off, and there's a pin button that you push there. So when you push that, it pops out. I won't do it now because I'm one-handed. And then the bottom column is removed. Now the top column at this point just lifts up, and if you look just under here, there's where the brass is, there's two black screws, two Phillips screws. If you take them two out, this column will lift out, giving you access to the top of the steering wheel. One thing I will say, kind of skipped a step. I had to plug in my under column to drop the steering wheel down. Just gives you nice access to the steering column to get the screws out. So once you're ready to remove the bottom column, drop the steering wheel down. That'll give you access to the two brass screws there that have to come out to remove the top panel. Okay, so we've got the top panel out. Now I'm going a bit in depth here, but for you guys who are like myself, who's just going to try this first time, these are the two screws that come out to remove it. What you'll find is this section here between the screws is wedged in. If I can get a view, just here there's a bar that runs across there, and the leather goes into it just there. So you do have to give it a little pull on each side, and quite a pull, and it just pulls out, and it's this section here that comes out. It's quite tight, but it's a solid steel bar, that, and you don't realise until you're on it, once you've removed the screws, you think it's just going to pull out. It doesn't. It takes a little bit of force, not too much, but you have to feel it pull away. And you can just see the bar, the little black bar just below the centre cluster, and that's what it slots into. Now with the covers off, this is what you're left with, top and bottom, and what we're trying to find is this one here. It's just located in there like that. That is your 4-pin connector. That's what the paddles, I believe, are going to connect to. Okay guys, the airbag removal. Spent half an hour, couldn't get anywhere near it, couldn't get it to move. I've ended up making a tool. Now basically, it's the size of a hammerhead, and all I did, it's a 3-inch nail, 4-inch nail, or if any ladies are watching, it's a 1-inch nail. Now it's a 4-inch nail. Hung it over the tip of a 17mm spanner, gave it a few smacks, basically tapped it down. This gave me this rather weird shape where the hammer's been pushing this end over the spanner. This turns out to be the perfect shape for airbag removal, and that's what you need to get. Now I'm not going to pop my airbag back in because I don't want to do it again, but I went for a hole at the bottom, which is here, and a hole at the top, and my steering wheel is at a 90-degree angle. Now when you put the screw into the hole, as such, goes in there, you're putting it that way in. Hope you can see that. So the screw is pointing to the bottom of the steering wheel. Not very good at this, as you can tell, but I'm trying. So this is the screw, it goes in that way. The bottom of the hole, you push it to the top, and then pull down, and lo and behold, it just popped. Nice and easy. So it's all about the tool and not the technique. Okay, so with the airbag lifted out, I've got the key well away from the ignition. I've left it for 10 minutes. One screw, I think the other video shows it. Little screwdriver in, just pop that out. And the yellow one. If this blows up, you know it's going to be great. It's going to go all over YouTube. Looney fitting paddles to Maserati in the hospital. And just pop that one. I hate these things. These are the bits where your heart goes a little bit. I know you're all sat there waiting for the bang. Hey, 2 yellow clips out. Now, them out the way, I'm just going to unplug them. Okay, so airbag off, they just pull out. Next job, remove the plastic washer there. There's a little tool in there to remove it. And that leaves me with the bolt. It's a rather funny shaped bolt. Just there to come out. And that should be the last of removing the steering wheel. It's got to be careful not to lose the little washer behind it. So bolt and washer out, and then we'll see if the steering wheel moves. Okay, that was pretty easy. 24mm socket. Came straight out. Keep the nut and the washer together, and the steering wheel moves straight away. It's a matter of removing the steering wheel now and just popping these wires through, I believe. I'm going to see how it works. Take my time, and another short little video number 53. So if you're watching all this, God help you. With a quick little touch, you have to disconnect the horn and the steering wheel column. That sits on there, screwed like that. So that comes out of that. Now to remove that little hole just there, you have to pop a little screwdriver in, just give it a push, and this section pulls out. One last thing before you take the steering wheel off. There are a couple of marking points you can double reference, just a little line there and a little line on the column itself. Now you can put a bit of Tipp-Ex or a bit of pen, but I can see them quite clearly, how they line up. Probably not so good on video, but it does come out quite clear. And as long as you put the steering wheel back on that position, that's fine. I'll put a bit of Tipp-Ex at the back. It should fit fairly straight on. It's off, steering wheel's out. The next job is this steel bracket here. One screw there, and one screw there. That needs removing because it's an extra bracket when you haven't got the column in, and then the column will fit in. We're going to fit the paddles. So this little one down here needs to be unconnected. Just drop it down. Okay, paddles in. A little bit faffy, but you have to lift these pads up so they're back like that on each side. There is a screw on the left and the right that you just pop in. You connect the paddles, and the paddles to the steering column connect up, and then you reconnect the one at the bottom, and then there's a screw which is, I can't even see it now, the final screw, yeah, if I can find it, it's just there underneath. So it's one screw at the bottom, a screw on the top left and a screw on the top right. The top left and the top right you need 2 electrical screws for, and the bottom one pops out. There's a little steel clip that I didn't put back in, just didn't seem to work with it in, and the screw that comes out goes back in. Very solid. The screws I was using for the electrical part are them. They were a few mil too long, you could use shorter ones, but if you're in the UK, Screwfix has machine screws, and I think they are M5X30s that I used to secure it. So all I'm going to do now is work backwards through the steps, and we'll see if it works. And if it doesn't, I'm going to go in and have a good cry, because it's freezing cold, and it's took 3 times as long making a video doing it at the same time. So at least you've got a reference point now if you are thinking of doing paddles, and if they work I'll let you know. I'm just going to put it all back together, because the wife came out and the steering wheel was off and she wasn't happy, so I need this to work. Okay, from looking at the steering column, the sections that need cutting out is this section here and this section here. I don't think I need to come across here, so I'm just going to do the first section, which are already marked by the cowl, and we'll see how it fits. All back together. Paddles seem to be working. So first, second, I won't go any further because I'm parked, and down into first. So that's good. I haven't drove it yet, so I've got no idea if I'm going to have any faults. Back into park. No faults displayed on the screen. Seems to have accepted the paddles okay, and they do feel absolutely brilliant, I must admit. No issues with clearance or anything else, just as it should be. I've got to sort the plastic cowling out now. I've got a Dremel, and I'm going to see if I can make it fit. If not, it's going to be purchasing new ones. It's just the way it is. We'll see how it goes. I'm not holding out hope that I can get it to fit, but I'm going to give it a go. Maybe a few small alterations, and we'll see how it looks. Okay, so the paddles are in, they work. This is the guide. Don't know if it's a very good guide, but if I can do it, anybody can. And it does show you the steps you do need to take to fit them. I mean, I rang Maserati, and for the full kit supplied, they wanted 1,500 quid. So paddles cost me £110 off of eBay. I made an offer, and fittings just took me probably about 3 hours. I stopped for a cup of tea and a bacon sandwich, and I have stopped in between, obviously making small little bits to show you guys if you're going to attempt it, how it works. So onwards and upwards. I'll have a go at the cowling now, and if that works I'll post a little video, and that's it. Drive to follow. Okay, had the Dremel out, and I've had to do like a circle all the way around. It's not the greatest in the world, but it'll do for the time being. On this particular one, the paddles catch around here and here. So there are a couple of marks inside, you can see that. Where you can Dremel to. I'm going to try that and see how it works out. This is the top cowling. That's the bit I've Dremeled out. Here. Look on the other side. It's like that. This side. About the size of about a penny. So it's like a penny circle you put in on that edge, just there. So again, took a penny. So if you look at it that way, where the cowling sits, this towards the steering wheel. This section here, took a penny out of it. This section here, took a penny out of it just there. Okay, with the top cowling back on, you can see just there where I've had to take a penny's worth out. The paddle now sits behind it. Same on the other side, it will tighten up obviously. But I took a penny's worth out there. So there you go, so the cowling fits. And we'll try the bottom one and see if it matches. Okay, all back together, day's work. We now have paddles, which look amazing. Gotta say that, they do look good. The bits that were dremeled, you can't really see, to be honest, because they're all tucked in. So, yeah, better picture in daylight. I mean, I'm gonna take them out again and probably just smooth them so they're perfectly circled. But, to be honest, you don't really need to buy top and bottom cowl if you've got a little 30-40 pound Dremel or something similar. It's a little bit of work around the back, you just sand out with the Dremel, and on the top one a penny Dremeled out there in like a circle, which is quite easy to do with a Dremel because it's a circular piece that goes in and spins like your finger. So now the big test. Do paddles work? Do I need programming? Is it all going to blow up? Stay tuned. Okay, final part of the video. Oh, it's awesome. The paddles work absolutely amazing. You can leave it in drive and then just click down the gear when you want. Beautiful. Pop it into sport, pop the lever across. What a driving experience. All you guys who have got paddles already know, but for someone who's been driving a full auto for a while, this is just superb. So guys, anybody worried about fitting them, it's not a hard job, it's really not. You need a full day, you need to take your time. There's nothing too fiddly. The hardest part, popping the airbag. Hopefully, if you use the kind of tool I made, it'll be a nice easy job for you. Took me about 15 minutes all in all, and that was including just shaping that nail. The hardest part, I think, is just putting the cowl back on, not actually shaping it or anything, because you put the top one in, you find its position, and you have to spend time. This goes in at a certain angle, and until you get that angle right, then it just pops in and slots, because you think it won't fit, but it does actually fit, but it's just slightly out. It's like a set of angles you have to pop it in at. Apart from that, really impressed. Well worth doing yourself, doesn't cost a lot. Maserati will tell you 1,500 quid, and you know, I mean, alright, that's supplying the parts, but that's ridiculous. This is a £100 upgrade, and if you haven't got paddles already, then just go and do it. Don't be frightened of it. It's a DIY mechanic job. Everything's plug and play. You just plug it straight in. Watch other videos on YouTube. On the forum there is a link to how to do this in pictures, which I'll post up as well, which I found very helpful. That's how I done mine. Just follow the link on pictures. I've only done a video for you guys that are thinking about it, but are thinking, oh god, you know, I'm taking the steering wheel off. But honestly, it's really simple. So hopefully this video encourages you guys to go and do it and enjoy your car even more. And to be honest, the upgrading looks alone, this paddles behind the steering wheel now, they just look amazing. Just gives a whole new feel to the driving experience. Oh well, good luck guys. Sorry if the videos are a bit crap. I'm not a YouTube video guy who does you know, this kind of stuff. This is just purely to help people who want to do it. So excuse the whiny voice and the poor camera angles and the shaky camera, and I didn't swear, so I did quite well. Good luck.